It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update as a Bullet Club member makes their AEW debut. We look at who the face of the Revolution ladder match mystery man was, and AEW tease an upcoming Jeff Hardy debut. And before we get into it, make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the latest wrestling news, and check out the relaunched WrestlePlanet.net for daily wrestling articles. Ahead of last night's episode of AEW Dynamite from Atlantic City, AEW President Tony Khan would sit down with PW Insider to promote the show. During the interview, Khan would discuss former AEW World Champion Kenny Omega, who has been absent from television since Full Gear 2021 in November, where he would drop his belt to now champion Hangman Page. Omega was said to be taking time off to heal some nagging injuries that he's been working through for a number of years, including knee issues and ongoing vertigo in the ring. Khan would state that he is excited for Omega's return and would confirm reports that he's out due to injury, and he would say, "We miss Kenny Omega greatly. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time and was a dominant champion in AEW for almost a year, and I personally miss Kenny Omega being around very much. He's healing from a bunch of injuries, significant injuries, and he wrestled through all of that and had some of the best matches in the history of the company while he was really beat up. He really cares about wrestling and he worked his ass off to fill up and make his matches great, even when he was in a ton of pain and could barely get through it. Now it's time for him to rehabilitate and heal, and he's going to come back stronger and come back, I hope, as good or even better than ever. I really believe the stuff he did while he was physically limited was so impressive. I think he was absolutely the wrestler of the year for 2021, and I'm excited for Kenny Omega's return in 2022. Whilst it's unclear when Omega will return to AEW TV, it seems like the plan is to see him come back at some point this year, and hopefully he's back to 100% when he does so. Earlier this month, reports emerged that Shane McMahon had been let go from WWE shortly after his return in the Royal Rumble match, citing a poor attitude towards talent and colleagues. Shane was said to have played a significant role behind the scenes for the men's 30-man match, and was described by a ringside news source as a nightmare to deal with. Any upcoming wrestling appearances at the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania were then scrapped. This past Tuesday, a tweet would emerge that suggests Shane is in fact still working for WWE in a backstage capacity after being spotted with Marco Massotti, the owner of the South Africa Sharks rugby team. Marco would post a photo of himself, Shane, and co-owner of NHL franchise the Florida Panthers, Doug Chifu, along with the caption, "So grateful for a night out with brothers Shane McMahon, son of WWE Vince, and Doug Chifu, co-owner of Florida Panthers. Excited for a partnership between WWE and rugby." This tweet seems to reveal that Shane McMahon is playing a key role in an upcoming WWE deal with the Sharks rugby team, likely to further expand the WWE brand in the South African market. Whilst it seems that Shane's days as an active competitor are over, at least for now, he appears to still have a role behind the scenes. Next up, let's go to the first of the key headlines from AEW Dynamite last night, as on the show, the Inner Circle would hold a team meeting following dissension between Chris Jericho and the group's tag teams Santana and Ortiz. Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Jericho would make their way to the ring together, with no Proud and Powerful in sight. The duo would then enter alone to their own music, a symbol that they want to go their own way. Santana would claim that Jericho only cares about himself and he's been holding him and Ortiz back. Jericho would point out that they've had opportunities, including the time that they lost to the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles. Sammy would then interrupt them before taking off his Inner Circle jacket, stating that he doesn't need to be in the middle of the bickering and that they need to figure their stuff out or he's done with the group. This disagreement would eventually lead to a match being agreed for next week, where Santana and Ortiz will take on Jericho and Hager, where they look to settle their beef once and for all. With the injured Eddie Kingston waiting in the wings, it seems that Santana and Ortiz will eventually join him as a group, with Jericho blaming Eddie for getting inside their heads. It's possible that Kingston could make his return to TV next week, although this is not yet confirmed. And for our next story from last night's Dynamite, let's go to the main event for the AEW World Championship. Lance Archer would challenge Hangman Page in a brutal, bloody match under Texas Deathmatch rules. Despite relentless punishment, Page was able to secure a victory after wrapping barbed wire around his wrist before striking him multiple times. This led to a German suplex, sending Archer to the apron before Page used the referee as a springboard for a buckshot lariat, sending his opponent through the table on the outside. Page was able to get to his feet before the referee's 10 count, scoring the win via countout. This marks Hangman's first title defense since becoming champion last November, having drawn with and beaten Bryan Danielson during their feud. It seems that Page won't be waiting around for his next challenger, as he was confronted by Adam Cole at the close of the show, meaning we will likely see Adam versus Adam at some point in the future. Cole currently sits in second place inside the AEW rankings, just behind Lance Archer, meaning he is next in line for a title shot. Before the reveal of last night's scheduled AEW surprise debut, fans were greeted by another debutant as a top New Japan Pro Wrestling star made an appearance on the show. Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero were in the middle of a backstage interview with Tony Schiavone before they were jumped by Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Cole would then tell the Bucks to pause the beatdown before Bullet Club's Jay White would walk into shot, throwing Trent into the side of a truck. After the show, AEW President Tony Khan would discuss the details behind the appearance, revealing that it was a make-good for wrongly using the term Forbidden Door when referring to the surprise debut that was later on in the night. And he would say, "I didn't secure Jay White until Sunday. I realized after the fact that Friday night I butchered my own definition of Forbidden Door in hyping tonight. I heard the fans' feedback and wanted to ensure that tonight was a special AEW Dynamite for all. Thank you everyone who watched." It seems that White is still under contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling and that this debut is through their relationship with AEW. A later segment would confirm that in storyline, the Young Bucks were not aware White was coming to the show, and it was arranged by Adam Cole. The Bucks would tell Cole that White has a bad history with Kenny Omega, perhaps hinting at a feud between the two later down the line. Over the past few days, there's been a ton of speculation surrounding the much-hyped debut for last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, with the Mystery Man booked to take on Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party for a spot in the upcoming Face of the Revolution ladder match. As expected by many, the signing was eventually revealed to be former WWE superstar Keith Lee, who would make his first AEW appearance in impressive fashion. He would make quick work of Isaiah in under 5 minutes, showcasing his sheer power and speed. Lee has been a free agent since his WWE release back on November 4th, with his 90-day non-compete clause having expired on February 2nd. Although Lee had a solid run on NXT, becoming the first ever simultaneous North American and NXT champion, his time in WWE ended on a sour note after his main roster call-up resulted in him getting lost in the shuffle, ultimately being repackaged as Bearcat Lee. His WWE release and eventual signing with AEW will be a relief for fans, with his new home hopefully understanding his ability and his worth. Before last night's AEW surprise was revealed, one of the names speculated to be appearing was Jeff Hardy. Whilst Hardy wasn't in attendance at the show, AEW would make reference to his WWE exit, hinting at a likely debut at some point in the future. Jeff's brother Matt Hardy would be at ringside during Keith Lee's first AEW match in the corner of his protege, Isaiah Cassidy. During the contest, Matt would grow tired of Cassidy before jumping the guardrail, leaving the ringside area before heading out of the arena. For those that missed the reference, this is reminiscent of the Jeff Hardy house show incident that led to his WWE release, where Jeff would jump the rail and leave through the crowd in the middle of a 6-man tag match. Hardy would then be drug tested by WWE before they offered him a spot in rehab, which Hardy refused. The results would eventually come back negative, although this was after WWE's decision to release Jeff had already been made. This wasn't the only hint to possible Jeff Hardy AEW debut, as before the show, Matt Hardy would take to Twitter to post an extremely interesting post, and he would say, AEW Dynamite begins in 10 minutes. Tonight is make or break for you, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. If you fail me, I'll be extremely disappointed. The use of the word extremely is of course a reference to Team Extreme, the alternative name sometimes used for the Hardy Boys in WWE, as well as for their trio with Lita. It seems that in the end, Matt became disappointed with Isaiah. Matt's departure from the Hardy family office stable has been in the works for several weeks, with Andrade El Idolo taking the role of joint leader, with the group renaming itself to the Andrade Hardy Family Office, or the AHFO. It's likely that they will soon be known as simply the Andrade Family Office, setting up a Hardy Boys reunion at the same time. Interestingly, Jeff Hardy's WWE non-compete clause is set to expire on Wednesday, March 9th, 90 days after his release, which is the same day as the first Dynamite after the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. With that said, Matt has teased on his stream that Tony Khan may have brought out Jeff's WWE contract, although this is unlikely. And before you go, make sure you check out my video where I discuss 10 UFC fighters that are perfect for WWE or AEW.